Good morning students. In this session we will cover about the post-fertilization events. We have seen during the second chapter that what is included in the post-fertilization event. After the double fertilization, events of endosperm formation, embryo development, maturation of ovule into seed, ovary into fruit, they are all collectively termed as post-fertilization events. Means all these events they are included in the post-fertilization event. Mainly it is known as endosperm development, embryogeny, that is embryo formation, and the seed formation. Now first we will see endosperm development. Primary endosperm cell that is resulted due to the triple fusion, that is endosperm is 3n, that is ploidy level is 3n. Endosperm, they are the cells filled with reserve food material, and the main function of this endosperm is to provide nutrition to the developing embryo. Now here you can see the endosperm nucleus divides repeatedly to form endosperm in endospermic seeds. This endosperm acts as a food store for the developing seed. Here the maize seed is shown 3n, that is the endosperm nucleus, and it provides the nourishment to the developing seed. Now, how this endosperm formation occurs? Mainly occur in three ways, that is the nuclear endosperm formation, cellular, and the helobial. These are the three types of endosperm formation is there. In the first, that is the nuclear type, PAN, that is primary endosperm nuclei, undergo successive nuclear division which results into the free nuclei, means many free nuclei are formed. This is known as free nuclear endosperm, and the cell wall formation occurs afterwards. So this is the nuclear endosperm. Whatever in the coconut, the water part we see, that is considered as a nuclear endosperm, and whatever the white portion we are seeing in the coconut, that is the cellular endosperm. And helobial, that is found in the particular peanut, that is transverse wall is there, micropylar, and also the chalazial chamber is there in the helobial portion. So three types of endosperm formation is there: nuclear, cellular, and helobial. Now next is the embryogeny, that is embryo formation, which is in earlier stages. It is similar in the monocot and the dicot embryo. Embryo develops at the micropylar end sac where the zygote it is situated. First endosperm develops, then the zygote, because as zygote it is getting the nutrition from the endosperm only. So first the development of the endosperm is there, and then the zygote. It is very much clear. Now here the zygote, that is proembryo, globular, mature, heart-shaped embryo. These are the stages of the particular embryo formation. Now here the first division, that is the transfer division is there, which leads to two cells. One is cells towards micropylar, that is the terminal cell, and other that is towards the basal cell. It is known as a suspensor cell. Now this suspensor cell undergo the transverse division and results into 6 to 10 cells which form the suspensor. Terminal cell is swollen and it is vesicular haustorium. Lowermost part is known as hypophysis to root tip and root cap. Means hypophysis that is present at the root tip and the root cap portion. Embryo, whenever the vertical division at right angles to one another, 4 cells are formed. Then again transverse division which led to the octant, 8 cells. Then termina 4, they are arranged to the plumule and towards the hypophysis to hypocotyle and radical. Proembryo, that is considered as a undifferentiated, then the globular stage comes, then the heart shape, and finally the mature embryo is formed. Now first we will see the dicot embryo. It consists of the embryonical axis and two cotyledons are present. Here you can see the two cotyledons. One is this and one is this. These are the cotyledon. The portion of the embryonical axis above the level of cotyledon is known as epicotyle, which terminates with the plumule or the. So here the particular epicotyle is present which end towards the plumule or the stem tube. means from the plumule the shoot portion arises, and the cylindrical portion below the level of cotyledon, that is known as hypocotyl, which terminates with the radicle and the root cap. In the grass family, the cotyledon is called the scutellum. Here it is shown the scutellum structure, which is situated towards one side lateral of the embryonical axis. At its lower end, embryonical axis has the radicle and root cap enclosed in an undifferentiated sheath called foliorhiza. So in other terms, you can see the covering of the radicle is known as the foliorhiza, and other, that is coleoptile, it is shown. So it is the covering of the plumule. Here the seed formation structure it is shown. It is endosperm, food storage for the developing embryo, and the plumule, radicle and the cotyledons embryo possess this all structure. Micropyle, that is the pore entry of oxygen, water during the germination or seed. Means through this micropyle, oxygen, water gets entered through the micropylar region. Non-endospermic seed, it is also known as non-albuminous seed. If all the endosperm is absorbed by the developing embryo, the seed is a non-endospermic. Example, broad bean, pea, groundnut, they are included in the non-endospermic, non-albuminous. An endospermic or albuminous seed, all the endosperm it is not absorbed. Example, maize, wheat, barley, castor, sunflower are the example of albuminous or endospermic. Here the difference between the endospermic and non-endospermic it is seen. This is the figure of the broad bean where the cotyledon is present. It occupies the greater portion. Here you can see cotyledon, it is a smaller portion is there. Endosperm is present in the endospermic seed where it is absent in case of non-endospermic seed. Example is of maize, that is endospermic, and non-endospermic bean. Now, if the remnants of the nucellus are also persistent, this residual persistent nucellus is the perisperm, and it can be seen in the particular seeds of black pepper and beet. So, this you have to remember for 1 mark. That sometimes what happens, remnants of nucellus become persistent, and this persistent nucellus is known as perisperm, which is present in black pepper and beet. Now, if the fertilization is completed, what happens? The integuments that form the seed pod, micropyle which form the seed pore, ovules are converted into seed, ovary into fruit, and wall of ovary it is converted into the pericarp. Now, basically there are 3 types of fruits: true fruit, false fruit, and parthenocarpic, as we have discussed in the chapter. True fruit that develops only from the ovary. False fruit, they develop from other parts of the flower and not from the ovary. For example, if they develop from the thalamus, they are known as the false fruit. Example are the apple, strawberry, cashew nut. And parthenocarpy, fruits which develop without fertilization. Example, banana. Parthenocarpy technique, it is also can be induced with the help of the growth hormones such as auxins, and through this technique the particular seedless varieties of fruits can be grown, and it can be obtained, such as for example grapes also. Now apomixis that we have seen, that is seed whenever it is developed without fertilization, it is known as apomixis. Mostly it happens in the grasses. These are the particular, you can say, points in the particular why apomixis it is helpful. Apomixis is generally helpful in creating the hybrid varieties of the particular seeds which are needed for the farmers in order to have the desired variety of the plants. Last topic of this chapter is known as polyembryony. Thus we have discussed that particular, if the more than one embryo it is present in the seed, then it is the term referred to as polyembryony. Embryos from other part of embryo sac, then eggs is synergids. They are the rare cells of nucellus, that is the integuments. They are present in mango, citrus. Multiple embryo sac in ovules, that is all fertilized. All these points, they are leading towards a polyembryony particular process. So in simple terms, what is polyembryony? If more than one embryo it is present in seed, that may be due to this four reason, that is considered as polyembryony. So I hope students this all topics are clear. Here we end with the second chapter revision part.